Welcome to the Milo Beasley Show, dude, episode number 98. Number 98. We're up there, we're two away from the magical 100. My guest this week here on the Milo Beasley Show is Rhett Giddins, man. How you doing?
Here, man.
How you doing? I'm glad to be able to talk to you, man. So how are things, man?
It's good, man. Going real good. Trying to get my career going even better.
Yeah, man. I've heard great things about you. Just all over the place, you know, whether it be internet. Some good friends of mine are actually really big fans of yours. Bruce Santee can't talk about you enough. You know, he's a really big he's a really big fan of yours, and he's told me many good things about you. So I'm super stoked to have you here. And a little bit windy out here, but you know, it's a good little April night here in Florida.
Yeah, smooth little night for a little bit of wrestling, you know.
Yeah, not too
Friday
hot.
Nights.
Yeah, we do Friday nights here. You're here with FIP at Gods and Monsters here at Artagon Marketplace.
And if you haven't been here, man, you need to get here and let your inner nerd out, man.
Dude,
it's
like,
super cool.
You just have like a tab. You just go and like pick stuff off the shelves and be like, hey, this is my tab. Like this, don't pay me, pay for my tab.
Yeah.
Like that's the way. So, how long you been wrestling, man?
Just 3 years, man.
Just 3 years,
yeah.
man.
Just started out with I Believe in Wrestling, training there with Chase and Rance and Larry Zabisco. It's been super fun, man.
Yeah, Chasen, I've known Chasen for 15 years now or so.
Yeah.
Like I've known him since I've known that kid since he was a kid. You know, like
he still looks like a kid.
Still looks like a
crazy.
kid.
I need that little potion he got.
Still looks good in his hair.
Yeah.
But, so what made you decide to get into wrestling, man? Like as opposed to, you know, you're a big athletic dude, you know, like as opposed to football or basketball or something else, you know, like what brought you to the ring?
Well, I've always been a wrestling fan my whole life. I started when I was 5 years old, watching with my mom, SummerSlam '92, Brett and Davey.
I watched
the first
that.
match I ever watched, and I've been hooked ever since. I used to play high school football. I did MMA for a little bit, but wrestling was my real passion, so I decided to jump in, both feet.
So how old were you when you began, though? When you
started? I was 25.
You were 25. So I started when I was 18. So I would think 25. You know, and there's the speculation. You know, the talkings, as you will, of the Fed won't hire anybody as they get close to 30. You know, like has anybody said anything to you about that? Like, hey, don't get your hopes up, or like you're just like screw off. I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I mean. When I first started, I thought about that a lot, the age difference between the young guys getting into WWE now, but this wrestling is something you have to do. Like, you have to try it. If you do not try it, you'll regret it your whole life. And like, I didn't want to go through my life doing that, so
yeah, definitely. You know, you gotta jump in, like you said, both feet and hit it hard. So, who was your first match against, man?
My first match was against a guy called, what was his name? Blake Archer.
Hey, John Parker.
Blake Archer at SCW.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what was that? Win? Loss?
It was a win.
It was a win.
Because he was a young guy just like me, but they decided to put me over that night. And
so
I was
you started your career undefeated.
Yeah.
So what do you think you would be doing if you weren't wrestling?
I don't know. I'd probably most likely be working at a GameStop playing video games.
Well, they got that Player One. It's like a bar. And do you ever go there?
Player One, other than the Gods and Monsters, is the best place to be a nerd.
Is that your place? Like that's where you like hang out at?
Yeah,
like
that's where I like to hang out after shows, get a beer, play some video games.
So what are you doing after this, man?
After this,
yeah,
probably
like I heard there's like an after party.
Yeah, hanging out with my crew of guys, probably gonna get a couple of drinks and talk about the business like we always do.
So when you talk about the business, who are some of the guys that you idolized growing up? You know, like
growing up, first match I saw was Davey and Brett, so I always idolized Davey. My mom was a big British Bulldog fan, but as I got older, Mr. Perfect was one of my favorite guys.
Perfect. He was a good guy. He was a good guy. I knew him right before he passed away. I did some shows with him. He did some shows here in Florida, and that dude was a good dude. He was a good prankster. Yeah, he loved the ribs.
I need to start pulling the Mr. Perfect ribs.
Yeah, bro. You need to start pulling some ribs. Don't worry, I'll teach you.
Yeah.
I was the master back in the day.
Just give me the notes on it, man.
So what else do you like to do? What else do you like? What are your here on the Milo Beasley Show? We like to do called the top five. Top five television shows on TV right now. What do you watch? What do you watch?
You're gonna People are gonna think differently of me.
Oh.
Number one would have to be Desperate Housewives. I watch Desperate Housewives a lot. I think I've seen every episode like 50 times. It's good stuff. Don't.
Hey
judge
man, I'm
me.
a big Golden Girls fan, so
Okay.
you can't judge.
Desperate Housewives. Empire is a great show.
I've never seen Empire.
Empire, it's on Hulu, man. You gotta check it out.
All right.
Definitely any wrestling that's on. It's definitely top 5. I'd have to go with First Take with Stephen A. and Skip Bayless every morning with my bowl of cereal. That's how I get the day started.
That's how you get the day started.
Me
I
and
like
my
it.
son. Number 5. Let me think of something special on TV. Ooh, man. I'd have to go with Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
Hulu. Even though they don't have season 2 through 5, 6 is pretty good.
You and the 450 up on the Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
You gonna get yourself the little eye thing like?
I wish I would have thought of that before. I can't steal from my man 50.
That's my boy. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he is.
And you know what? He's being super successful right
Yeah.
now. And I don't think you could have it to a better guy.
Nah, he's a
Like
really
that dude
good
is a really cool dude. So before we wrap it up here on the Milo Beasley Show, where can folks find you on the social medias?
Well, you can hit me up on Twitter at freakrhett.com, freak_rhett.com.
Are you a freak?
Oh, definitely. You just had to pull my girlfriend aside and ask her.
Okay. So that was your Twitter. Yeah. Are you anywhere else on
Facebook, you can look me up, Rhett Giddins. I definitely accept anybody. I'm friends with anybody that wants to be friends. I want to hear about your stories just like you want to hear about mine, man.
Yep, cool. And you can check your stuff out on the YouTube as well.
Most definitely.
Check them out. And so, any last words before we wrap it up here?
I'm about to go out here and beat some Mitches up. You know how I do, how the freak gets down. Who's the man? Check me out on Twitter, baby.
Greg is the man. He's the freak. All right, this has been episode number 98. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Peace out.
Yay, I'm entertaining.